Hey everybody, it's Todd with Tailored Living featuring Premier Garage. You've got your new closet system installed, so now we're going to show you how to make some simple adjustments to that. First I wanted to show one of the easier ones to do, but it's one of those things where if you don't know how to do it, it seems intimidating, but it's really easy to do so. And that is just changing the height of your closet rod. So what I wanted to do is pick our standard closet rod and just show you how you can adjust that very easily. So that's why we have all the holes drilled in the system for adjustability. You can just take this bar, and what I like to do is kind of pop it on one side or the other. So you can just kind of tap it like that, and it should pop right out. The bar is out, and now I've got what we call pull cups. So sometimes these are a little tighter than others. So what I do is go like this and give it a little bit of a wiggle. And if I want to move it up 1, 2 holes, I just do that. Try to make sure to count to remember. And then on the other side, the same thing. Wiggle it up. 1, 2 holes, and maybe I messed that up. Yep, I did. Didn't go up 2 full ones. When I get it where I want it, if I'm moving my clothes around, then I can just pop that back in. And again, sometimes it's a little tricky depending on exactly how long the rod is cut. And then just kind of tap it right in. And that's a really easy way to adjust your clothing over time. That's why the system is built with adjustability in mind. Come on over here. I'm going to show you a couple other simple things to adjust your new system. So we're going to show you how an adjustable shelf works and how a fixed shelf works. Fixed shelf being a little more complicated. So number one rule, and this is broken all the time, is actually just go ahead and take everything off the shelf. That's the good idea. So go ahead and grab the clothes or whatever items you've got on there, and I'm going to take all of it off right now just because we'll make it easier for the future. So the first kind is just an adjustable shelf. So it just lifts up, very easy. This one should be super obvious. I like to recommend pulling the shelf all the way out. Even though you might be able to do it with the shelf pins in there, it's better to take it all the way out. That way you won't accidentally drop it or cut your hand or hurt something. And go up 1, 2 shelf pins. I'm going to actually go down 1, 2, 1, 2. I'll go down 1, 2, down. I'm pulling these pins. Occasionally these pins will get a little sticky or it might actually be harder to pull out. If they're more difficult to pull out, you can just get a simple set of pliers and go ahead and just kind of pull that out or give it a wiggle like I did with that pull cup. Now, putting the shelf back in, there are a couple little helpful tips for that. Don't just try to jam it right back in. Give yourself some space, angle the shelf, drop it carefully on the one side and then the other. And occasionally when you're moving a lot of shelves around, you'll see that you've messed up and you'll have something like this. You know, that's the clear indicator that one of the pins or 2 of the pins are not in the right hole. Drop that pin down, lock, and then you're all set. That's how you adjust the adjustable shelves. Then we have a fixed shelf. In most of our systems, we've got 2 or 3 fixed shelves, and that's to give the system stability. Usually it's at the very bottom, often in the middle, and then at the very top. And those are fixed, but they are movable. So sometimes people want to move one of these shelves and they think it's permanently fixed. Not so. Again, the whole system. So what we have is a cam lock with a metal fixture on the inside. And you want to take a Phillips head screwdriver. And one thing you want to do is it naturally won't go in straight or all the way. It's going to go in between on an angle like this. You want to turn it counterclockwise gently until it stops like that on each of these. And what we have inside is a post that this is actually locking onto. So I'm going to do all 4 of these. And again, sometimes it'll take a second. You have to wiggle it to find it lock into place like that. And then set your screwdriver down. And I go like this and kind of, again, tap to make sure it's loose. If you didn't turn it all the way, it might not be loose. So this one's loose. I'm going to lift it up on one side, lift it up on the other. Carefully angle it out. Set that down. Take my screwdriver, and what I'm going to do is just give you an example. These are the fixtures that the shelf locks onto. I don't recommend you use a power drill. If you do that, you might chip the hole out a little bit by, backing it out aggressively. So take a screwdriver and just carefully release each of these pins. Take it all the way out. Here's what the pin looks like, the locking pin. And again, just for the purposes of time, I'm not going to move all 4 of these, but you would then carefully screw the pin back into the new hole location. Do that with the remaining 3. And we've got the 4 fixed shelves. You take your shelf, same kind of process. You're just going to want to lift and tilt.